Okay, so in this video, it's going to be short and sweet. What we're going to do here is make some very crucial settings and do some overall cleanup on our brand new WordPress installation to make sure that we're fully optimized for search engine optimization, for speed, and for just plain productivity. So let's start by logging into our admin panel or our WordPress dashboard. In case you forgot, you just simply go to the domain name of your WordPress blog and then put in a /wp-admin, and that will always get you to the login screen. Go ahead and log in using your username and password, and that'll take you to the WordPress dashboard. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and do any updates for WordPress that are being displayed. And as you can see right here in this yellow reminder, yellow nag bar at the top here, it says that there's an updated version of WordPress available. So go ahead and click on that link that says please update now. And then in the next screen, what you'll want to do is use the automated update. Now, if you want to do a backup first to make sure everything is good, you can do that. But I've found that the WordPress update process has been very, very stable, and I've never had a problem with it. So you can click on Update Automatically to do the process very simply and very quickly. And we just wait for that to complete and tell us that it's been updated successfully. Then over here on the right-hand side, we can go ahead and go back to the dashboard. And you notice that there's no other updates showing here. If there were also maybe some plugins that needed to be updated, that would show here as well. You could do that and update those in the same fashion. So the next thing we're going to do is maybe just some overall screen cleanup here. And you can see here on the main dashboard, there's a lot of components here that are things that we don't necessarily want. They kind of get in the way and take time to load. So up here at the top, you can click on Screen Options, and you can remove any of the things that you don't really want. I typically like to keep the Right Now box, the recent comments, incoming links, plugins I don't need. You can keep this if you choose to. This is the updates from the thesis or DIY themes blog. There's usually a lot of good information there, so you can choose to keep that if you want. I never use the quick press functionality, so I eliminate that. Recent drafts I keep. I eliminate the WordPress blog and the other WordPress news because it just tends to clutter up the screen. Once you've done that, you can just close that Screen Options, and you see we now have a lot more space here. And that allows you to move some things around. You can move these over to a different location and sort of just make it a little bit easier to have that information at your fingertips. All right, so now when you come in, you can kind of see what I like to do is have my Right Now box right at the top. So that's the first thing I can see is posts, pages, comments, pending, spam, all of that information right there available to me at the first glance. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do next is we're going to take care of a little issue that many people overlook that can make or break your blog's ability to rank in the search engines. And that is something to do with the way that it displays the page names for the actual URL. So real quick, let me give you an example so you know what we're talking about. If you go down to Pages and select All Pages, and you'll see we still have this sample page here. Go ahead and do a right mouse click on View and open link in a new tab, and then switch over to that. Now here's what I'm talking about right here. Right up here in the address bar, you can very clearly see it says collectworldcoins.com/page_ID =2. That's the actual address for this page of content. The problem with that is that that doesn't tell the search engines anything about what this page is about. And we don't want to do that. We want to be sure that the actual page name indicates what the content is about. So there's a real quick way for us to do that. So if we go back to our dashboard and we scroll all the way down to under Settings where it says Permalinks and click on that, right down here, instead of the default, we want to change this to Custom Structure. Click in that box, and we're going to change that. Let me cut and paste it from another location here. We're going to change that to this. It's a slash, %, post name, %, and another slash. Now once we activate that by hitting Save Changes, let me take you back to that sample page and reload it and show you what now shows up. Now you can see the address of that is sample page, the exact same as the title for the page itself or the post. So now when you make a post in WordPress and you name that post something applicable to the content of that post, the actual post name is what's going to be displayed up here as the page name or as the URL. So the search engines are going to know immediately that based on the name of the page itself, what the content is about. And that's going to greatly enhance your ability to rank in the search engines because there's no question as to what that content is about. Now there's some additional search engine optimization features that we're going to be doing and applying when we do the installation of the core plugins, and that's in a later lesson. But for now, this is a crucial setting that you want to get right from the start, because if you wait until you've been blogging for a while and then you go and change that setting, all of a sudden all those other pages that were out there and possibly got indexed are no longer going to be valid. They're all going to be dead links. So do it from the start. I guarantee you this will save you a lot of headaches. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. The next thing we're going to do is some more general cleanup. We're going to go into the posts. So over here on the left-hand side under posts, go ahead and click all posts. And we're going to get rid of any default or sample posts or pages that are in here. So under the Hello World post, you'll just hit trash and get rid of that one. And then underneath the Pages tab, go ahead and click All Pages. And let's get rid of the sample page. Just hit trash. And then under Comments, so we have nothing there, so we're okay there. So we've gotten rid of the temporary pages, the sample posts, and the sample comments. Those are all gone. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to update our profile. So under Users, go down here to where it says Your Profile. Now this is going to directly affect how our name is displayed as the author of the posts that we make. So right now, as we set it up from the start, it says admin. So when we make a post, it's just going to say created by admin or posted by admin. If you'd rather have that display your name, then this is where you can put that in. So now it's got my name in there, and I can change this where it says display name publicly as to however I want that to be. So if I want it to be my full name, I can just go ahead and set that. You can change your email here if you choose. You can add in your website. So now anytime you decide to make a comment on your own blog, when you're logged in, that website address is going to automatically be inputted there as well. So your name will be hyperlinked to the website address. And any of these other features that you want to fill in, you can do. You could add some biographical information. And if you want to change your password, you can enter your new password here. That's your choice. If you just leave this blank, it does not change your password. So once you've made the changes you want, you just hit Update Profile. And we took care of that. Okay, just a couple more quick tweaks. We're going to go down here again to the Settings area and click on General. And under here, we're just going to make sure that everything is being displayed the way we want it. We've got a site title and a tagline. Now we already entered these in. When you created your blog, you may not have entered in a tagline, or you may want to change the actual site title. You can do that right here. The WordPress address URL, you're probably not going to need to change. The email address, you can change if you choose. You can click this button and actually let people register for your blog. I don't recommend doing that unless you have a specific reason for that. I would not make any changes to any of these settings, except when you get down here to the time zone. You can go ahead and change that, and if you scroll down in the list, you can find your location in the world and go ahead and change that. And if you want to change your date format, you can do that, or the time format. You can change your week start on day. Once you've made the changes you want to that, go ahead and hit Save Changes. And we'll move on to the next one. Underneath Settings again, we're going to go over to the Writing link and open up that page. Now here we have a few different options. Some of these are personal preference. You can choose a default post category if you've added categories. We haven't really done that yet. In a further lesson, we're going to go ahead and be adding pages and posts and setting up categories and so forth. So you can worry about that at that time. We're going to scroll down to the bottom of this page, and the important thing we're going to change here is under Update Services. We have a whole list of update services we're going to add. Now let me explain real quick what this is. These are ping update services. So every time you make a post or you change content on your blog, the WordPress system is going to automatically notify any of the update services that are in this box. And it basically goes out to those services and says, hey, there's an updated post here, there's updated content or changed content on this blog, come take a look. And that's how you end up notifying all of the search engines, all of the different pinging services out there that you have new content, and why WordPress is such a powerful platform, and how you can get a WordPress post indexed in Google within just a few minutes instead of the traditional way with a traditional flat website. It could sometimes take weeks or even a month or more. So what we're going to do is add a whole series of additional ping services to this list. And you'll find that list directly below this video in this lesson, so you can just copy and paste those in. So now we've added about 20 or so additional ones here. So now we're notifying a lot more places that we have updated content, which is going to help us to get indexed faster and get quicker placements in the search engines. Now right above here where you have Atom Publishing Protocol and the XML RPC, unless you have specific reasons to enable these, I would leave them unchecked. For example, the XML RPC is something that you will have to update if you're going to be using an iPhone app or an iPad app to update your blog. Some of those require that these be enabled. Other than that, you can leave them unchecked. And we'll just go ahead and hit Save Changes. So that's taken care of. The next change that we're going to make is to go down here to the reading link. And here you can choose how many posts you want to show up on the very first page of your blog. I like to actually limit that to maybe 4 to 6 posts, but again, it's a personal preference. And you can save changes. Then we'll go down to discussion. Under the discussion settings, there's a number of personal preference things in here. You can read through those. Choose whether or not you want to be notified by email when someone posts a comment, whether or not you want comments to be automatically approved, or you need to have the administrator, which is you, actually approve the comment. I typically will leave this in this setting format because I like to approve comments from people who have never commented before or have not had an approved comment. Down at the bottom of this, you can choose to display or not display avatars. Now, avatars are the little graphic image that would show up in a comment. We'll talk about that in a further lesson as well, but I would recommend go ahead and show those, and then you can choose some preset loaded different avatars that you want to show in case somebody doesn't have their own avatar. You can kind of just be creative and pick something that's fitting of your blog. Once you've done that, hit Save Changes. And on to the next one. The media and privacy, we're not going to make any changes to at this point, and we're going to skip right to permalinks. Now, we've already done the permalinks one, so just double check again and make sure you've done that, because this is extremely important. This can be a big problem for your blog if you don't do it from the start. So again, custom structure, and add in this particular piece of code here that's going to tell it to immediately use the actual title of the post as the page name. So once you've done that, that completes all of these crucial setup options that we want to make sure we have, and we're all set up for the next lesson, and we look forward to talking to you then.